Welcome to week 3 Bears Banter. Chicago Bears against Atlanta Falcons. Myself, Bernard Muhammad, Jay Beasley, Tammy Harris, and Guy Moore. We're coming off a Chicago Bears victory 30-26. That was a very good game, y'all. Hey, nothing like a victory Sunday.
I'll take it. I'll take it. I will
Right,
take
right.
it. I
Hey,
will
click
take it.
down. If you see down the video, you'll see the link if you want to join us with your comments and questions. We already have a few people on hold right now. Hey, Jay, what was your take on the game today?
Well, I predicted a Bears loss today, and I kind of just sat and kind of melancholy, just sat there like, okay. And then when uh, Nagy decided to switch the quarterback, I'm like, okay, this could get very interesting, and it absolutely did. Uh, I, 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 I've been a Bears fan a long time, and this is one of the wildest games that I've seen in a long, long time.
Okay, great. Hey, Guy, what is your take on the game today?
Once again, tale of two halves. One of the very first plays, Calvin Ridley gets off, does his thing. I'm like, oh man. But, time goes on. They get Mitch out the game. They bring in a veteran quarterback. He runs the offense. We come up with a W. I'm good.
Okay, great. Tammy, what is your take on the game today?
My heart's still jumping out of my chest. At the moment, I'm gonna say my heart was sinking the first 3 quarters, and I wasn't happy at all. And I was praying like crazy the fourth quarter, and the last 7 minutes, I was like straight couldn't breathe. I was praying so hard, but the defense sucked. I was like, when we talked Friday, I said, if the defense does their job, we can win this game. We almost didn't win the game because the defense sucked for most of the game. And then, of course, there were some BS calls, but that's a whole nother story we'll talk about. But I'm just happy for the win.
Right, right.
Right. That leads us to
I'll take it.
that
I'll
actually
take
leads.
it.
What is that? Oh, that's you, Tammy. It sounds like you coming through on your other device at the same time. That actually leads us to the
I'll put on mute.
okay. That actually lead us to the question: was this a good win? I like to bring in one of our guests right now. Matter of fact, let me go over some of the scores. I'm gonna bring in Josiah to the thing. Hey, welcome to
Let's
the
go.
Bears broadcast. Hey, let me run some scores to us real quick. Josiah actually, myself and Jay actually had the Bears losing today, and of course we did that because we saw Mitch playing the whole game. So some of that was based off what we saw from Mitch. But
The eye test.
right, the eye test. So Josiah, was this a good win today?
Hey y'all, what's going on? Go Bears! It was a tremendous win. I'm a little bit inspired because for the Bears defense to at the end of the day hold off Stafford. That's the Detroit quarterback. Good quarterback, and then come back and do the same thing with Reeves, who had his statistically worst performance of the 3 games against a Seattle and against a Dallas, and for them to hold him to what they held him to, lowest yardage this season, and the Bears just they win ugly. Are now the team that you don't want to be close to in the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter. That's who they are, and they just won ugly. But it was a very awesome win. Foles made a difference. He came in and did his thing. And hey, go Bears!
Go Bears! Thank you for your comments. Hey, Guy, was that a good win today?
Did I go through this? Oh yeah, yeah. It was an excellent win, man. You know what? Here's the deal. A W is a W. If you win by 40 or win by one. I mean, it's a momentum thing, and it just seemed like to me that as soon as Foles came in, it just totally recharged the offense. And I know we kind of texted back and forth, and I know, Tammy kind of talked about it as well. And I was thinking that it was probably more so, it might have been more out of necessity in a way. It was more like a recharging, so to speak. You get a guy come in, the very first thing he does like, what is a 6 or 8 yard pass or what have you. And it was one of the ones where he didn't look around, try to see who's out. He just dropped back, throw the ball. And I think guys were like, okay, maybe I'm going to get some catches now. So it was an excellent win for us, man. This is just momentum and something to build on.
Okay, thank you for your comments. Hey, Jay, what about you? Was this a good win today?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely a good win. Just because, again, they came from behind. And with the change of quarterback, just some stats here. Mitch was 13 of 22 for 128 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. Nick Foles, 16 of 29, 188, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. 3 touchdowns in a 4-minute and 27-second span in the fourth quarter. So that lets you know it's the quarterback play. And this team can actually, if our defense kind of show up, because our middle linebackers are non-existent right now, which we can talk about later. It was a good win. It was a good win because it showed that with a competent quarterback, we can score some points.
That's a great point.
Yep.
Who was Tammy? Did I ask you? Was it a good win?
No, but it was a good win, but it was an ugly win. I said it wasn't gonna be pretty Friday. I was like, but I didn't expect it to be this bad. But a win is a win. I'm happy for it. I'll take it. I'm glad he put Foles in when he did, because literally I said, put Foles in, and like 5 seconds later he put him in. I was like, thank you.
They gave the lady what she wanted.
Right. Hey, I'm about to bring in one of our guests today to show to see what they thought about the win today. Hold on, Keith. I'm going to bring in Zemi. Hey, welcome aboard, Emerson Bowie Jr.
What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's up? Y'all doing a great job.
Thank you,
bro.
Thanks, bro.
Hey, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule. I know you got a lot going on here in Chicago and joining us on this broadcast. The question we have right now is this a good win for the Chicago Bears?
Well, you know what they say. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. So today was one of those days.
Yeah.
I think that overall, what you saw was the lack of mental toughness on from Mitch Trubinsky, and the mental toughness of Foles. Foles is coming off of a Super Bowl. Foles is coming off of some great experiences without the hang-ups or the baggage that Mitch is carrying. I think he stumbled a little bit, and I think that was just the adjustment period, getting the timing right with the offense and game time situation, since they didn't have a preseason. And this is the first time really getting out there with the team.
Good point.
Coach did the right thing by pulling Mitch, because I think with all the speculation that was going on earlier in the week and the way they've been winning, he was just going to go down deeper into that abyss from there. So it was a great substitution. I think Foles brought, again, that energy. Not to mention, I don't think Atlanta really game planned for Foles. So I think that helped us as well get that.
I don't think Atlanta game plan for nobody.
Well, when you're going against Mitch, you don't have to.
Well, I'd like to ask Keith. Keith, was this a good win for the Chicago Bears?
Well, first of all, a bad pencil is better than a good memory, and by that same thought process, good win. I mean, an ugly win is better than a beautiful loss. So I'm gonna take that. One of the things that I know that the best play that Mitch Trubisky made in this game, in my opinion, was tackling the guy when what should have clearly been a pick six.
A big six, yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So he ended up
Yeah.
making a tackle, which may have
Yeah.
been the difference in the game when you really think
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, very valid
Yeah.
point. Very valid point. Let me move to and let me move to the next question here. Okay, and this is an interesting one because this is really reason why initially when we did the preseason predictions, I actually said if the Bears stick with Mitch too long, they would go 6-10.
Mm-hmm.
And I said you can't play this pulling the quarterback in and out of the game. I said, but if they pull them early, the Bears could possibly go 9-6. I mean, not 9-7. You know, which could be better. But I saw them as a much better team if they pull Mitch versus letting Mitch play them out of a playoff. But let me share some stats on Mitch before we move on to this question about Mitch. And Mitch went 13 for 22 for 128 yards and 1 interception. And this is at going into halftime. Nick Foles went 16 for 29, 188 yards, 3 TDs, and 1 pick. And let me add, for those who didn't see the game, that pick wasn't on him. That pick was on Allen Robinson. I don't know what you need to do, Allen Robinson. You did this 2 weeks in a row. I don't know if you need to squeeze some rubber balls. What it is, give them old school black squeezy things. Go get you something. Because 2 weeks in a row, your quarterback got picked off because you let a guy take the ball out of your hand. So, hey, he came back through the end, so I'm not going to blame him. But that could have made a difference in that game. I mean, football is about momentum. I mean, momentum shift in a game, it doesn't matter how good you're playing up to that point. If that momentum dictates a whole lot of what happens in a football game. Unlike other sports, momentum shift, people who are chokers, they choke. Like I said last Friday, the pregame, Atlanta does what Atlanta does late in games, and that's choke.
They choke.
So, hey, let's start out with Tammy. Is Mitch done for the season, and should the Bears stick with Nick Foles?
Well, I say to me, yeah, they should stick with Nick Foles. I don't know if he's fully done because I haven't watched him enough. I just got back into watching this season. As you know, it's your fault that I'm back to having heart palpitations because of the Bears. But I mean, I think Nick Foles has more composure and is, they have a better shot at having a better season with him just because Mitch's judgment, from what I have seen and from what I've read and from talking to my dad and other Bears fans, he's just not consistent, and his judgment is just not developed. So I think we need somebody that has experience and composure, and I think Nick Foles shows that he has that. And I agree with you that pick was not on him at all. That ball should have been caught. And they gotta protect the ball. It was a couple passes that should have been caught, and it wasn't on him. So, yeah, I think he should be done. We'll have a better season.
Okay, so you think he's done for the season? Okay, that's one. Mitch is done for the season. Hey, Josiah, I'm gonna bring you back into the broadcast. What do you think? Is Mitch Trubisky done for the season, or should the Bears stick with Nick Foles?
Well, you know what? That's a good question. Mitch Trubisky, unlike many of us, was given a very fair chance to show what he can do in the first 3 games. He was given a fair chance. A lot of us wanted to and like you said, Foles have the experience, Foles have the composure, and it's basically it's his to lose. It's his position to lose. So, disregarding him getting hurt or anything like that, oh yeah, he, like you said before, momentum. Well, guess what? Foles has that momentum right now. So, I don't see coming back.
Okay, that's a good answer. We have 2 people that's saying that the Bears should stick with Nick Foles. Hey, Guy, what is your opinion on this question? I'll read it again. Is Mitch Trubisky done for the season? Should the Bears stick with Nick Foles?
Well, brush your teeth and wash your hairs because Mitch Trubisky is done with the Bears. You see, they didn't give him the contract extension, man. I mean, you know what? And like I said, I like Mitch, man. Mitch is a coachable cat, man. He's the type of guy you want as a young guy who is coachable, but just certain guys just don't have that facility. And it's not a bad thing about Mitch. It's just certain guys have a ceiling, and I think that he's expanded that. You saw the difference with Nick Foles. Nick Foles, like I even told you guys, I said he's not like a lights out quarterback. He's not even an excellent quarterback. He's a really good vet. And you could tell with the play decisions, like Mitch goes and drops back, and he's like, okay, do I get the hot route? Do I hit the backs? Foles drops back. It's like, I see you out the corner of my eye. You got to stretch. Boom. What I would have said is had Nick Foles been in, man, they probably would have ran all over that cornerback with Allen Robinson, man. It was like, man, you throw 12 or 15-yard ends to this dude, he'd have licked this guy up. But you could see the difference, not just the play, but just where the balls were thrown to him. You know, they're catchable, they're in progress. Mitch kind of seems to sort of sling it out. And as you see, you know, they didn't offer him a contract extension, so this is more like a year that it's either put up or shut up. And I think Mitch is done with the Bears, man, unfortunately. I wish him luck, though.
Okay, there's 3 people that say Mitch is done for the season. Hey, Jay, I'm going to ask you the same question, but I also want to bring in this to the question to you because I know you're a big Jimmy Graham fan. Do you see Jimmy Graham being more involved in the offense also with Nick Foles being in there?
Okay, a 2-part question.
2-part question for you.
Mitch is done. You know, like I say, I was rooting for the kid. The Bears was rooting for him because Pace spent a number 2 pick on him. And they wanted him to succeed. But the bottom line is you can't throw your season away waiting on a young quarterback to develop. You just can't. Correct. So, yeah, Mitch is done. And once you pulled him out of this game, that's it. The only way he should play now if Foles get hurt. That's it. Mm-hmm. That's it. And with Foles at the helm, y'all see, I think Jimmy Graham got 3 touchdowns already. 3 touchdowns in 3 games.
Okay. And he got 2 today, too.
Okay, so I think that's 4 touchdowns in 3 games. This dude might wind up with like 15 or 16 touchdowns with Nick Foles at the helm. Because Nick Foles does use his tight ends and expect to get Cole Kmet a little bit more involved with Nick Foles at quarterback. But yeah, Mitch is done. Mitch is done. And you know, like I say, I like the kid and I wish him luck, but he's done. He's done. He's done.
Okay. Hey, you know what? I see Mitch as being done for the season to me. I mean, I think if they'd had a preseason or some off-season training, Nick would have won his job. Not that Nick is a great quarterback, but
absolutely.
Mitch is what I call a boardroom quarterback. He a guy that can read defenses when it's in the boardroom. But when you get him out there on the field, when teams start shifting after the snap, I think Mitch has no clue. Yeah, Mitch has no clue what's going on. Yeah, he has no clue what's going on. He can't read live coverages. He takes too long to process it. He's into his fourth season. You can't stick around with a guy like that. He's fortunate to even been drafted that high. It's not his fault. He really should have been a 3rd or 4th rounder. And I like Mitch, but it's not about liking Mitch. He seems like a nice guy. But the Bears did him a disservice by drafting him that high. Also, I want to add a guest in and see what he thinks about Mitch Trubisky. I'm about to add, he's known as, we call him Truck, Royce Jackson. Hey, welcome to the broadcast.
What's up, man?
Hey, Truck.
I'm seeing all these
whole football team up here.
Yeah, Tammy, we're gonna have to recruit some ladies. I mean, I see them ladies on Facebook. They be Bears down. We got to get the ladies to join in on this broadcast. Hey, Truck, what do you think about Mitch? Is Mitch done for the season, or should the Bears stick with Nick Foles?
Well, Negro, you already know because I sent you a text. I said that he's done. Trubisky is done. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. Like you said, I think every quarterback coming up should learn how to play, should learn how to read defenses before they even get to touch a football. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's just what it is because hey, everybody loves a quarterback who got a strong arm and all that. But if you can't read defenses, I mean, what are you doing?
Right. Hey,
Right.
great point. Hey, I'd
Right.
like to go down to Keith. Is Mitch done for the season?
Actually, I don't think he is going to be done for the season just because it's a long season and bearing injury or whatever. He might get some cleanup time or what have you. I think what's pretty clear about this is Trubisky lacks some mental toughness. You know, when they took him out instead of getting behind Nick Foles and trying to will the team to a win and cheer for the rest of his teammates, he kind of started pouting. And the other thing that was an example of the lack of mental toughness, in my opinion, was when he was running down the field looking for somebody to tackle him.
Right.
You don't run. You're running 50
Man.
yards. You're trying to score. Like, hey, somebody's gonna grab me. So I don't think he's done for the season. I think you'll see him again. But I think he's got a long way to go from a mental toughness standpoint. One other point, Nick Foles, on the other hand, has been through quite a bit in his career. He went through a stint where he was thinking about quitting football altogether, and some people had to talk him into
Mm-hmm.
playing and putting his head into the game, and he's
Mm-hmm.
benefited from all of that. So he's
Mm-hmm.
rather unflappable from
Mm-hmm.
anything that comes at that man mentally. So
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a much better decision, though.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, you know
Absolutely.
what? I want to
Good
say
points. Good points.
Mitch is done for the season to me. What I do want to mention is when you mentioned about mental toughness. That guy from Atlanta, they always call him Matty Ice, but I always call him Matty Melt. That guy to me, he's a great quarterback when the game is not on the line. But
But you
because
know what?
he plays a part in some of their meltdown. If you look at this game, he went into the fourth quarter. It was about 3 minutes left, I believe, in that game, or maybe 5 minutes. That was his first completion in the fourth quarter. I mean,
He
come
was
on.
0-8. He was 0 for 8 in
0
the
for
fourth
8
quarter
in the fourth quarter.
before that first pass. Yes.
Right.
Yes,
Yes.
this is a game where you up going into the fourth quarter. You're winning this game 26-10. And you go 0 for 8, and people calling you Matty Ice. You the quarterback when you up in the Super Bowl winning 28, I think 3 against the Patriots, and you throw a bunch of incompletions. That's not to take nothing away from the Bears, but I just thought about that. Matty Ice, Matty Melt, he gets too much credit. But I want to
You
go
know
to the
what?
next question, and I'm going to go into defense, and I'm going to start out with Emerson Zemi. How did the Bears defense look today? I know you was a former defensive player.
You're
We
muted.
can't hear you. Hold on, your mic mute. Go ahead. You may be mute on your side. There you go.
All right. There
Yep.
we go. Yeah, they looked pretty good today. Overall, they were spotty at times. Some really good play from Hicks, clogging up the middle, putting a lot more pressure. So I thought that was good. I'll tell you though, just on your previous question, this game is about momentum and this game is mental. Like most sports is 90% mental, 10% skill at a certain level. I think you got to give Foles at least 2 more games to really see which direction he's going to go. I agree with Plank that, it's a long season, so injuries may give Mitch a chance to come back in. And the one thing we got to remember is, character doesn't start when
I
things
know
are
that's
going
right.
good. It starts when they go bad. So we'll see what kind of character this kid has in the event that Foles does go down and he gets another opportunity. But I'll tell you, the biggest problem with the Bears, of course, and the biggest problem with the defense is you go into sports playing to win. It just seems like the overarching tone of the Bears is we're
Good
playing not
point.
to lose.
Right.
Excellent
And that's
point.
always
Excellent
a
point.
losing recipe.
Excellent
Excellent
So
point.
the defense has to come in playing to win. The defense is not only known for stopping people, but if our defense can score, or if our defense can create enough disruption to put us in scoring position, the Bears always
Okay.
got a chance.
Hey, Tammy, what do you think? How did the Bears defense look today?
Well, to me, they sucked. But in the first half, they sucked. They weren't stopping anything, in my opinion. And I was watching the game, like, if they let Atlanta get too far ahead, we're not going to come back. Because I said, I was praying that maybe we had another fourth quarter like we did against Detroit. But, that's a long shot because Chicago is inconsistent when it comes to scoring high games. That's not what they do. And especially when you got wide receivers that aren't catching the ball in perfectly thrown balls, because there were a couple of balls that should have been caught that weren't, that would have gave us more breathing room. So, I mean, I think it was overall, I just think it was a lucky win. It's a win, but it was a lucky win. It was a clumsy win. The defense wasn't great. The offense wasn't great. Atlanta was just
Okay,
worse than us.
great point. Yeah,
Good
that's one
point.
thing we didn't mention today. Nobody mentioned to Tammy just mentioned. There was a lot of drop balls, actually on both teams. Balls that kind of hit guys in the hands that, for whatever reason, I don't know if it's from lack of preseason, poor concentration. I don't know, but it was a lot of drop passes today. I hope Tariq Cohen is all right. I just thought about that. That I know he was
Yeah.
walked off today.
Prayers up.
Knee
Prayers up.
injury. So, hey, Jay, what is your take on how did the Bears defense look today?
They looked okay. It ain't the defense that I've been expecting, based on the talent that they have. Um, Anytime you're a free safety leading you in tackles, that's not a good thing. And Eddie Jackson led the team in tackles today with 7.
Right.
So that's not good. Our middle linebackers, I don't know Roquan and Danny. I don't know where y'all at, but y'all definitely ain't gapping no holes right now. Because Atlanta, I want to say they was like 24th or 25th in rushing coming into this game, and they gained 148 yards on the ground. That's not good. I mean, overall, I think our pass defense, which we actually said in the beginning of the season, was that our front 7 was our strongest suit. But it looked like our secondary right now is the strongest suit on the defense, and that's not really good. You had 2 starting offensive tackles out today, and our pass rush still wasn't what I thought it should have been based on the talent that we have. I believe we had 4 sacks today, but even with that, it's just not good enough. It's just not good enough. And you gave up 26 points today. So, they was okay. They was just okay. They was just okay.
Okay, that's a great point. Who I have up next? Guy, how did the Bears defense look today?
I give the Bears defense the finger. No, I'm just seriously. You know what? Here's something that you guys got to understand. I know a lot of people will look and they look at that very first play with Calvin really ripped off those 60-something yards. Oh, well, he got burnt. He all this such and such. You're talking about a world-class receiver going up against a pretty damn good defensive back. And in that particular instance, I would say your top 10 defensive backs, probably all of them would have got burned on that particular play. It just happens. On their play, I give them a solid C-, but on heart, I give them an A. Because at the end of the game, those dudes played like some dogs, man. They were like, you know what? We sucked the whole game. You know what? I got pride wearing this Bears uniform. I got pride with this defense. We've been doing bad. It ain't about what we did now. We got like 4 minutes left. Let's just play like some dogs. And it just seemed like a light cut on because the team that played for like the first 3.5 quarters was totally different from that quarter. That quarter of a stretch in that fourth quarter, them dudes play lights out, man. So I give them a solid C minus. There's some things a lot of things they could have done better, man. But that's who wins games. A lot of time the X's and O's don't win it. But it's how bad you want it and how much pride you have in playing in the NFL. And the dudes that last in, they did great, man. So I give them a solid C minus.
Okay. Hey, I'm gonna try to see if I could bring something in right now. If I could bring in these highlights of Gale Sayers, I'm gonna run about 10 minutes of it.
Oh, okay. Either that or some cookies.
And one thing I want to say about the Bears defense.
Single game performances. With that game just 2 minutes old.
Hold on, let me see.
That screen's not sharing.
It's not sharing. Okay. What we gonna do? Let's try it again. It's not sharing. I'm gonna hit pause, and we're gonna skip that and come back to it later if we could get it in. Okay, let's move to the next question. How do you grade the coaching? We're gonna start out with Truck. How do you grade the coaching today?
You muted.
You got to come off mute. Hold on.
Okay.
There you go.
There you go. Make it real quick. We're gonna wrap up
What
in
was
the
that
next 3
question?
minutes.
The coaching, I mean, for me, bro, it's all about, because we play football, it's all about dominating the person in front of you. So, the coaching, all I got to say is, like I said before, Trubisky is done. Let the defense and Nick Foles come in and do his thing. And because to me, it's all about, if you win by 1 point, it's a win.
Okay.
That's all I care
All right.
about.
Thank you. All right.
Real talk.
Emerson, how do you grade the coaching staff today?
Well, the coaching hasn't been above a C the whole season, and the only reason they get a C is because we winning.
Agree. I agree.
The Bears coaches,
Totally.
again, they come in with that attitude, playing not to lose instead of playing to win. You can look at the play calling. I mean, it's the same thing week after week. Short 5-yard routes, hooks. These short plays. Try and run. You get a good running game established, then you go away from it, and you lose the ball. So there's no consistency, and there's really no freedom for the quarterbacks. And that's part of Mitch's problem as well, because Mitch is athletic, and he does have some skills that are similar to, some of the other quarterbacks like Holmes and things like that. I mean, when they do these comparisons, he can make some of those throws, but he's not in a system.
We lost your volume.
I was gonna say we lost his volume.
Yep. Okay, we come back to him. Hey, Josiah, what do you think? How do you grade the Bears coaching today?
Today, considering the fact that they played against a fairly aggressive team today, I'm actually going to give them a B minus, because I've seen them do way worse in terms of play calling and overall. Lazor, the offensive coordinator, he's showing great promise. So considering the fact of who they played today and what they was up against, getting that road victory come from behind, I got to give them a B minus today.
Okay, thank you for your grade, B minus. Hey, Keith, what is your grade for the Bears coaching today?
Well, I'm going to give the Bears a B minus as well. I agree with Josiah. I think the biggest play of the game was taking Trubisky out, and that was definitely a coach's decision. And also for Jay, I want to thank you for giving me the name of the Bears defensive players, the linebackers, because I swear I didn't hear the names called the entire game. So.
Hey, I just called it like I see it, man. I just called it like I see it.
Right. Hey, Jay, what's your grade on the Bears coaching staff today?
I'll give him a B just because of the comeback, and because, like you said, the whole thing is the coaching decision to bench Mitch. That was a coaching decision. So with that, I will automatically get him a B. I think Pagano kind of need to dial up a little bit more exotic stuff on defense. But at the same time, like I say, our linebackers ain't really playing well. Our linebackers are not playing well at all. But for the coaching, I would give him a B. I'll give him a B.
Okay, give him a B. Hey, Guy, what is your grade for the Bears coaching staff today?
I gotta go with a B too. See, Plank, you gotta stop listening to Jay, man, because he gonna get a red Kool-Aid and it's pretty good. You know what? And I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go do a Jayism too. One thing that Jay has always stressed about play calling was don't just be content with calling plays. You know, you call the game in front of you. It's almost like sometimes they go up to it's like being like a Doc's Fish. And you like, let me get a quarter pounder with cheese, a large fries. Like, this Doc's Fish. Okay, well, can I get a Big Mac and a large fry? You got to call the game in front of you, man. Real talk. You know what? But I give them a B because they pull Foles out. You know what I mean? They put Foles in. And just another thing, another Jayism. They need to take the play calling away from your boy, man. They really do. Because I think that he would be more likely to call the game in front of him. So, yeah, I give him a B.
Okay, you got another B. Hey, I'm going to give the Bears coaching staff a B as well today. I'm going to give Atlanta coaching staff, just throwing a little extra there, I'm going to give them a D minus. Late that game, they were up by 2 scores. They go and run. They pass the ball 3 straight times and run off literally 25 seconds.
I was grateful for it.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. But Tammy, I would like to get your grade. But also, what I want to get from you is when is your album dropping? What's the release date? And also, what's the name of your album where people could get it from? I'm sorry. I know there's a couple of things that threw at you.
Okay, well, I'll give him a B minus because I agree that the best call was to take out Trubisky and put in Nick, and he did it right when I said it, so I'm happy about that too.
You did say that.
I was like, take him out. So I'll give him a B minus. I'm grateful for Atlanta passing the ball. I really am. That was stupid, but
Right.
but I appreciate it. The CD is coming out Friday, October 2nd. The name of it is Psychology, and it's I talked to you about it a little bit. It's all Chicago music, so it's remakes of songs all from Chicago artists.
Okay.
Shaka, Minnie Riperton, Earth, Wind and Fire, Curtis Mayfield, all Chicago. It's all about Chicago. And if y'all want to, y'all can tune in to the virtual release by either looking at my Facebook group, Rooftop Productions, or my YouTube or Instagram. It'll be live Friday at 7:00 Central.
Okay.
Sounds great.
Good. Sounds good.
Sounds good.
She can sing. She can sing
Right,
like a boy. Like a boy.
Like a boy.
A boy.
Hey, we about to wrap up. We about to wrap up this week. Bears Banter. We had a victory today. Chicago Bears 30, Atlanta Falcons 26. A win is a win when in football. Each win counts. So the Bears start the season 3-0. Do anybody know if did Green Bay play today?
No, they play tomorrow night, I think, or is it tonight? I think they play. I think they play tonight.
I think it's tonight. I think it's
Monday Night
tonight.
Football. It's tonight. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Hey,
yeah.
we know.
What's that?
Because the quarterback battle is tomorrow night.
Who is that tomorrow night? Who is that tomorrow night, Josiah?
Kansas City and Baltimore tomorrow night.
The Baltimore and Kansas
In
City,
Kansas
right?
City. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Baltimore and KC, right?
Oh, that's the game right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so what we're going to do this Friday, about 6:30, we're gonna do our predictions of the Bears against the Colts next week. What time is that game to kick off next week?
That's a noon game at Soldier Field.
Okay.
Trust me, I know. I would have been there. Trust me, I know.
Right.
Hey,
Hey, if you're looking at us at YouTube, look down at the bottom and please hit that subscribe button. Thank you for joining us again on Bears Banter.
no.
Yeah, what's
I can
that?
tell you right now, Bears gonna beat the Colts.
Okay, well, we need you to come back on Friday and get that prediction. Get your scores in hand.
I gave it to you today.
Okay,
Yeah, I
well, we
didn't
need
see
you
you
to come
today.
back on Friday. So thank you for joining us this week on Bears Banner. Join us on Friday about 6:30 for the pregame show where we give out our prediction. And unlike other live broadcasts, we actually bring in guests to give their opinions and predictions. So thank you for joining myself, Bernard Muhammad, Jay Beasley, Guy Moore, Tammy Harris, and we had 3 guests today. We had Josiah, we had what we call him Truck, Royce Jackson, and we had Zemi, well also known as Zemi. We call his real name is Emerson Bowie. Thank you once again. Peace.
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 Peace.